to lose. I'm built to win. Applied myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me keep on running. Toes they gonna take
this is what we got to tell.
I've been doing this.
I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. My name is Joe Jordan. We have a great show for y'all today. I got two of my bros with me, but before we introduce them, we got some college sports. My bad. Once again, man. Thomas, 2 days in a row. We talking college, man. 2 days in a row, we all college today. All right, which is crazy. I mean, we're talking about that in the doghouse too. I mean, it's crazy, all college today. But the Huskies, they are champions again, back-to-back champions. All right. Taurasi has some words for Caitlin. We're gonna address that. And like I said, we bringing the doghouse back to the show. All right. But I got two of my bros with me. I got Dave Dollars, Mr. Doghouse himself, and I got Mr. Your done son Tomo. How y'all doing, fellas?
Where does news come from?
Yeah, just saw it from Ian Rappaport. Said that Logan Ryan officially retired today.
Man, look at that. Y'all get the news before you even join the chat. Y'all better join them chats, man. But I'm doing good. And Prime Vic was in Atlanta, not Philly. Hopefully you watching, kid.
Thank you. Prime Vic in Atlanta was the better Vic anyway. So for me, I'm feeling good. Actually, glad that we made this adjustment to now start to give previews of what you're going to see in Dave's Doghouse tomorrow night. So as I'm excited about today's show, excited to talk about some women's college basketball, of course, and then unfortunately, but fortunately, UConn are back-to-back champions. So got to deal with that with my brother, even though I'm happy it was them and not Purdue. So I'm ready. But it's Monday. It's Money Making Mondays.
It's Tuesday.
Ha ha ha.
I did that yesterday.
See. I'm just I'm a day behind. But hey, it's Tuesday. We turned up on Tuesday, so let's turn up. Turn me up. Do you think, Jody?
Yeah, so like we were saying, I was watching Kill Bill, and Joe was acting just like somebody in Kill Bill just now.
Just like you laughed at me, now you was on mute.
All right, y'all. We are streaming this on 3 platforms. We are streaming this on YouTube, Facebook, and X. X. About to say Twitter. So make sure y'all like the video on all 3 platforms. Subscribe and follow on all 3 platforms if you haven't done that yet. Make sure you share it also, because I know you're having a good time. You're watching live right now, but you want to send it to others because you can get involved by using that comment section. We can see all the comments y'all will be putting out throughout the show. Shout out to J-Mo being the first comment. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to J-Mo for being the first comment. Congrats to the Huskies. UConn. UConn do it. Oh, do it. Oh, that was an L. I'm like, what's going on? All right. UConn do it back to back. All right. So shout out to J-Mo being the first comment. But like I said, use the comment section, y'all. But if you go down to the right corner of the comment section, you will see a $sign. And if you click on that $sign, it'll give you different dollars amounts, right? And you pick one, and it's called a super chat. So if you leave a super chat, we will pause the show. I mean, we could be in the middle of a heated debate, and we're gonna pause the show, hit you with a hold up, and then we're gonna throw your comment on the screen, and we're gonna read it and give you the floor because we appreciate all the donations and the donations, gifts. There it is. Gifts. And last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. Tomo, floor is yours.
See, J-Mo, man, it's like my distant brother as well because he already on point with the title. You can do it. Because I was sitting over there, I was like, how can I come up with something that could just be like, man, one of the best teams in men's college basketball, and they went back to back. This is nobody has done this since like the Florida Gators, I think, in like 06, 07. So now, Dave, I know you don't want to hear it, but when bro on the doghouse, man, when he on the show, he can be like, man, you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing about my team. You can't tell me nothing about basketball because I told y'all from the beginning we was gonna get here and we was gonna win. A lot of people was in the chat talking about the smoke is coming with Edie. The smoke is came. There we go. And just like hookah, Edie evaporated. You gotta start some new codes or something, man, because it's over for him. He's going to the NBA now. UConn claimed their second consecutive title on Monday after beating Purdue 75-60. Through an impressive display from their backcourt, despite the big man battle between Edie and Donovan, the Huskies guard, man, played a role in securing that victory. So we just got to react to it or do a recap. This up to y'all how you want to do it, because I know CTC gonna have a lot to say about this as well. But yeah, the ladies win the night before. Now the men have completed the college season. So Joe, how you feel about this game?
Inevitable. I mean, like, it's kind of like we all knew it was gonna happen. I had to, back AJ in the chat just for the fun of it. I had to do it, and then I came back to the chat, and it was over after that. All right, so AJ, man, hope you had a good night's sleep, man. But yeah, UConn. This was a historic team. They asked Ray Allen after the game, "This is the best team you ever seen in UConn history." He said, "Yeah, it's the best team." We all know, he's a UConn legend himself. But I just want to go over some historic stuff, right? So UConn, it's crazy. Before 1999, y'all, UConn had 0 championships, 0 Final Four championships. Since 1999, they got 7. 7 Final Four, and 6 national championships titles, which is crazy, right? 7 Final Four appearances, and out of 7, you win 6. That's wild, right? So like they almost a lock to win when they get to the Final Four. All right. 2020, they probably know about this. Dan Hurley, right? 2020 when he lost Villanova. He said, you better get us now because it's coming. Since then, right? UConn went 115-34, a record of 12-2 in the Natty tournament, right? And won 2 national championships, which is crazy. By the way, I like Dan. I like him too. The quickest to win titles with the school, right? Ed Tucker, he did it. The quickest to win 2 titles. Ed Tucker went to Cincinnati in 1961 and won back-to-back, right? But Dan Early, right? He's tied with Roy Williams and Phil Woolpert with 6 national championships. 2 national championships in 6 seasons. That's the quickest. That's the second quickest in NCAA history. UConn margin of victory was 21.5 in the last 2 seasons. That's crazy in the tournament. And your boy, I want to say 2 things, right? They don't like the last thing I say, all right? Here we go. Most NCAA tournament game wins in the past 2 seasons. UConn, 12-0. San Diego State, 7 with 2 losses. Guess who 2 losses to?
UConn.
Okay. Alabama, right? 6 wins and 2 losses, right? 2 losses to UConn and San Diego. So it's like you got to go through UConn, all right? So, and then last thing I'm gonna say, right? UConn. This is funny. Past 4 national championships: 2011, 2014, 2023, and now 2024. Guess what those happened in those exact years?
Speak on it.
Miami Heat went to the NBA Finals. But I got bad news for you, Dave. You lost all of them. But you went to the finals though. So is Miami Heat gonna get to the finals this year? I don't know. I'm just saying history repeats itself.
We'll
But go
see.
ahead.
We'll see. We'll see. For me, man, shout out to UConn and Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley, like they said, is the first to win back-to-back championships, as Billy Donovan did with Florida. But there are only 4 coaches to have won it back-to-back since 1965, and that's John Wooden, Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski, Billy Donovan, and now Dan Hurley. So he joins a crew that's very well that's short-listed. So that's something that's been done. And like Joe said, UConn is 6-0 in the national championship game. So when they get there, it's a guaranteed win, just about 6-0 in the championship game. And the last time they lost in the Final Four was in 2009 against Michigan State. So,
why you had to say that on air?
Just saying. As long as they don't have to deal with Michigan State, I think they should be fine.
They'll be all right.
I think so too. But man, UConn is. I said this last year, and I'm going to say this again. Can we now consider UConn a blue blood? Because the blue bloods you hear are Kentucky, UNC, Duke, UCLA. Who has more titles in the last 25 years?
Since Michael Jordan left, they got 6. Duke and UNC got 5 apiece.
This is within the last 25 years. They got 6. No one has more than 2. So they need to be considered a blue blood. They've been doing everything they needed to do. They played great defense in the second half last night. They made Edey have to work for all his buckets, just about.
Yeah.
And no one else stepped up in that game. So, I mean, it was like a foregone conclusion. My brother said it last night. He said, look, if we're up at halftime, it's over. And they were up 6 points at halftime. I said, well, they kept it close. He was like, well, so did the last team. And what happened to them? I was like, okay. So, look, UConn is dominant. They've won double-digit games in the last 12 times they've been in the tournament. So they've been dominant. Yeah. They haven't just been winning. They've been dominant in those wins. And I believe at halftime last year in the national championship, they were up by like 15 to 17 points last year in the first half. So UConn they're the best team in college basketball. They proved it last year, and they proved it again this year. And this is with some of their best players that won the championship last year gone. They're in the NBA. And they came back this year and won it again with Tristan Newton and Castle and Klingon. They did everything they needed to do to win this game, and they dominated. From they only trailed once in this entire game. So they dominated. They dominated this game. And like I said, congrats to UConn, congrats to Dan Hurley and those guys. This was an amazing tournament, by the way. This was a great tournament in both men's and women. So shout out to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, shout out to Carl too for tracking this whole thing.
Facts. Shout out to CTC. He opened up a bracket, and we had two newbies basically in the final. So
shout out to Kevo with the victory.
Y'all already know what happened. I'll be back.
All right. I do want to say this too. Zach Edey dominated, man. I'm gonna give him his props. He only sat for 30 seconds of the whole game, and you know he finished with 37 points. Let me put it up. 37, 10 rebounds. I think he was the only person that had this stat line in national title championship game history. 37 points, 15 for 25 from the field, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. All right, which he did his job. I felt like, and he had a great season. You know, Zach Edey. It says Zach Edey ends his Purdue career as the first player to win back-to-back National Players of the Year since 1983. with 950 plus points, 450 plus rebounds in a year since 1979, right? With 2,500 points and 1,300 rebounds in a career since 1990, with 140 points and 70 rebounds in a single national NCAA tournament since 1968, with 40.15 rebound in the Elite Eight ever, first 40.15 rebound in the Elite ever, right? And to lead college basketball in points and recent Final Four since 1960. So he had a great season. It's funny, I saw a post on X. It had a dude sweating real bad, like nervously, and it said Zach Edey when he gets to the NBA and he has to guard, and he's getting guarded by Bam Adebayo instead of psychology majors.
That's crazy.
I know it was funny. So I would love to see how he's going to transition to the NFL, to the NBA though, because his type of gameplay, you don't see that in the NBA no more with the small ball. You already see bigs like him in the NBA. So
I think that also depends on where he goes, where he gets drafted. Because most people are projecting that he's not going to be a top lottery pick.
I was about to ask that.
I think it depends on where he goes, and it depends on who his coach is as well.
we'll take him.
So I'm sure we'll take him.
That's the center you've been waiting for, Andre.
We'll take him. We'll take him. Shoot, that'll leave Bam to spread out some more. So that's cool with me.
And that'll save him from that tweet.
Right.
But just a quick my quick recap on the game is, I mean, we talked about the UConn ladies when we was talking about the ladies championship. I mean the bracket, and how UConn was known for just owning the women's bracket. It seemed like some of that energy has shifted back over to the men just a little bit to say, all right, I mean, y'all had a moment, but I mean, y'all had a moment, but this is our time too. So now SC is over there holding things down, and it's like, y'all gotta step y'all game up just a little bit, because right now we running things over here. And shout out to what's the coach name again?
Dan Hurley.
This is the same coach that we was talking about. We got a segment or some topic coming up to talk about him, because we want to say if he's one of the greatest coaches in basketball, right? Was it Dan, or was it it was somebody else from UConn? Oh no, we was talking about UConn and their run, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna talk.
Oh yeah. We put down
the So I had to bring y'all back just a little bit. I was like, "What you talking about?" I was like, "I remember we were supposed to talk about that at some point, but they won, so now it's really got to be a conversation."
Yeah,
and we want Carl on here for that. So Carl, if you're listening, we want you on here for that conversation. And if Tony could show up, that'd be even better.
That's what we should have had today.
I mean,
he at work, so
look, Dave, like, you got too much dip on your chip, Joe.
Too much dip on your chip.
He's like, I gotta hear from off air. I don't want to hear from right now. A few moments. But Edey, I was also going to talk about Edey once he got to the NBA before my screen froze, and just to see how his game would transition. Because yes, he put up 37 and 10, and he was looking like a man amongst boys out there for a minute. But again, this goes back to what happened with the ladies again. You have the better team going up against the better player. But when the team shows up, this is what's going to happen. Because it looked like a game like in the first 15 minutes, and then after that, UConn like settled in, and then they just took off. And I agree with Tony's statement, because even though it was 6 points, that's enough for the gap to see, to be like, all right, we can run it up on these boys. And that's what happened. So,
and lastly, Dan Hurley, this is what he said, right? We like, best player against best team, right? He said, we didn't care if Zach Edey took 25, 28 shots to get 30 or 35 points. We didn't care. His whole game plan was no Smith, no Lawyer, no Gillis, no Jones. Keep that collective group under 18 to 20 points as a group. They had no chance to win, no matter how well Zach played.
And that's exactly what happened, too.
That's exactly what happened.
Exactly what happened.
One of them went like 4 for 12, other one went 0 for 5, one went like 2 for 4. Like
hey, too much dip on your chip.
Okay.
The doghouse still has to be talked about. So hold up, relax a little bit.
You go throw out there that their bench play like almost 30 minutes and score no points.
Come on, man.
That was crazy. But again, shout out to UConn though, man. Shout out to UConn.
Yeah, you hilarious, man.
Hey, I had to. Like,
Wait.
talking too much about points right now.
What Kev say, man? I never seen a husky lose to a Boilermaker.
I know, right?
Mhm.
It's
Shout out to
anti-rugby
Kev.
joke, but the
Hey, and
Dolphins
shout
have
out
to
to
still
AJ
come up
too.
with
AJ is the only one that had Purdue in the championship game. So
Yeah,
shout out to
That is
AJ as
true.
well.
That is
he
true.
was. So give him props for that. After talking all his trash, they got there. It's come
Yeah, he asked for the
UConn,
smoke.
bro. Sorry.
He asked for the smoketh, and he got it.
He should
That's
have picked
funny.
UConn to win. He would have won the whole thing.
Exactly.
That's
But
funny.
UConn
Yeah.
different, man.
Before we talk about the shows, that's funny. We had two Eagles. One of them won a championship. One of them didn't. So one is Hurts and one is Nick Foles.
The heck.
Ah!
That's all I'm gonna say.
So Kevin Nick Foles.
Yep. He is. He
The
is.
backup quarterback.
'Cause you know AJ is Hurts all day.
Okay.
AP.
You just started something, Tomo.
I try to. Let's
All
talk
right,
about
let's
these
get to
shows right quick.
Yeah, let's get to these shows, man. So Refuse to Lose is not just I don't know if y'all know this, man. Refuse to Lose is not just a show. It's not a podcast. It's a network. I don't know if y'all know this yet. All right, we got a shout out to Dave plethora of shows. All right. So the first show I want to bring up is BWT. Baseball with Teddy. All your baseball content goes through BWT. All these channels, all these shows, I'm going to go over and have their own YouTube channel based on their name. All right, just type their name and you'll see it. BWT has an episode actually coming out today at 10:30. All right, so right after we finish, he will be live and look right on cue, right on cue. Morning, fellas. Shout out to Teddy in the comment section. Next, we got CTC, Carl Talking College. He is the college guy, college basketball, college football. He will be recapping last night's game. He also going to be talking about John Calipari going to Arkansas. You definitely want to tune in for that. Right, the episode will be today. I don't have a time for y'all, but listen out for today for that episode to drop. So all your college content goes through CTC. All right, and now we got FFC Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. Right, I know some of y'all saying like fantasy football. That's not until what, September? Nah, it's now. He's doing a lot of scouting. He's still talking about the free agency. He giving you hints on hey, some people you want to look out for. Basically, giving you a head start for the fantasy football league. All right, so if you pay attention to the show, it's probably almost a guarantee you're going to win your league. All right. So you want to make sure basically tune into this. An episode will be dropping most likely tomorrow or Thursday. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. We got Kings Talk. Kings Talk with Joe Jordan. All right. This is Sacramento Kings basketball talk, basically. All right. So if you are a Sacramento Kings fan, make sure you tune in to this show. All right. RBO, Real Ballers Only. Real Ballers Only. This is an NBA only show with Vaughn. So Vaughn, he has an episode dropping today also. All right. And I think I'm gonna get the exact time because I don't want to mess y'all up. Javon will be going live today at 3 p.m. All right. So we got R2L live right now. We got BWT at 10:30. We got RBO at 3 p.m. And we got CTC tonight. So look, I got a busy day ahead of y'all. All right, so make sure y'all set your reminders for 3 p.m. and tune into RBO Real Ballers Only. He's gonna be going over the final stretch of the NBA season because we're down to the last 3 to 4 games of the season, y'all. Woo! Playoffs almost here, man. It's about to get real. All right, and then we got In the Red Corner with Fast Camp, Tony, Ricky, and Ty. They just aired an episode yesterday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's on their YouTube channel, so make sure y'all go back and go watch it. All right, this is a boxing only show. All right, no MMA, no wrestling, just no kickboxing, just regular boxing. All right, so make sure y'all tune in to In the Red Corner. Also, we have Dave Doghouse. As you can see, Dave is sitting right there, and he has his own show called Dave Doghouse, and it basically does lowlights and highlights of anybody in the sports world. I'm about to say sports media because you are in it too. But you could be in the media, you could be in the front office, you could be a player, you could be a coach, you could be a sibling, you could be a parent, you could be an interpreter. Shout out to Otani. So you could be anybody, all right? So if you don't do your job, you will be in the doghouse. And you will see that example today live on the show. But if you do your job and you do it in an exceptional way more than others, you will also see that on the show. You will be a dog in the yard, all right? So shout out to Dave Doghouse. Episode will be airing tomorrow, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Tomorrow,
Thursday. Okay.
Tomorrow 8 p.m.
Tomorrow, 8 p.m. All right. And last but not least, this Friday on the YouTube channel near you, we have a members only video with Brian Dawkins versus Troy Polamalu. A battle of Pennsylvania with Kevo, the winner of the bracket, and Vaughn, the leader of RBO. They're going to go at it live on the platform, y'all, but you have to be a member to watch the debate. If you are part of the chats, you know how highly anticipated this debate is. All right? And we put it out a whole week ahead to help you, scrape up a couple of pennies so you can become a member and you can watch this live, all right? So you got to be an all-star member above so you have to see this live. So make sure you got to tune in to that. Tomo, back to you.
Man, now that's going to be very, very interesting, especially with my man coming off of the Lamar battle. So we're going to see. We're going to see. He's been talking a lot of trash. So Vaughn came on here. He defended another defensive player of his. We're going to see if he could do it twice. I ain't saying he won that one. I'm just saying.
Careful,
he came
man.
on. These debates on R2L, man. You better come prepared. That's all I'm going to say. He is, though. He is. He is. He's like confident.
We got another one coming too. It's not a defensive battle either. It's a quarterback battle. So we got another.
You and Kevo?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We gotta start building these up, man.
You know what I'm saying? We just sending messages out there, kind of like a couple of these ladies were sending messages to some of these new entries to the WNBA. Right after the UConn Iowa game, there was some words to be had. So we're gonna bring it up right quick. But I just want to keep that up there for a second. Before I bring the video up. I wanted people to know they got to become all-star members. But
okay.
But we just want to say Diana Taurasi, Caitlin Clark, I think y'all need to have a one-on-one, and then we could play the video. That's all I wanted to say before the video started. Y'all check this out. And it's on mute.
This thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Not saying that it's not going to translate, because when you're great at what you do, you're just going to get better. But there is going to be a transition period where you're going to have to give yourself some grace as a rookie, and it might take a little bit longer for some people.
Might take just a little bit longer for some people. That's what she had to say. I don't know who some people is, but some people think she's talking to someone. All right, my reaction. Initial reaction when I first heard it, right? I'm gonna act like this is my first time. I mean, what's wrong with it? She's just giving her a message, because at the end of the day, these ladies ain't 18, Some of them may look 18, some of them may be in their 30s and still look 18, some of them may be in their late 30s and look 25. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, the game is a little bit faster. The competition is a little bit more fierce. There aren't that many friends in the league. I mean, they all come together when it's time for a collective bargaining. But when we on the court, it's time to hoop. We had Kayla come on here and tell us about her first year in the league, and she was in the bubble, and she was talking about how actually being in the bubble made her experience a little bit better, because you got to actually be around these players more often versus, one night in Connecticut, then you moving on over to LA, then you coming back to Arizona, and you really don't get to build a rapport with some of your idols in the league. That's all Diana is telling Caitlin. Like, you're coming with a media storm. We already know what's here. Some ladies have been here and then we don't even know their names in the league, and you just coming over here. We've seen it happen. Again, I hate to reference Love and Basketball, but this is what happened when Monica came to USC. And he was like, "What's up, superstar?" And then she shot the three-pointer. She had the gooseneck, and they was like, "Put your arm down, get back on defense." That's what's gonna happen over here. I mean, and it's not just to Caitlin, it's also to Angel, it's also to Camilla. Like, this message can go out to all of them. It just so happened that it happened directly after the game. And hopefully Caitlin didn't take this the wrong way. Hopefully Angel don't take it the wrong way, because what we said on here and what Gil also said to her about, you got to up your game. Again, you're not playing against psych majors, lawyers, science engineers, or anybody else that has a major and they going to class the next day. You playing against somebody who got a family to feed and got another team overseas they got to ball out for. So just be prepared. I'm not mad at the message she sent. She didn't have a ill tone to it. Maybe just a little bit, but at the end of the day, she's just letting you know, like, be prepared. Dave, Joe.
Go ahead, Joe.
Well, so look, my initial reaction, like you said, Tom, first I heard it through other people. Let me start there. I first heard it from other people, like, "Oh, this is what she said," and I'm like, "Dang!" I'm like, like shout out to Carl. Carl said this too. Cause my brother Jamal called me. He was like, "Yeah, you heard about this?" I was like, "Nah, not really." And then he said, "Well, how you feel about it?" He told me what she said. I'm like, it sound like some Darius Miles stuff. Darius Miles and when LeBron was coming to Cleveland and they was like, "We don't need him." They just sound like they just hating. That's what it sound like from other people. All right. But when you watch the interview, you see that like it wasn't really a diss, because before that, and obviously this is right after UConn lost. So let's keep that in mind. It's right after UConn lost. First thing Diana was like, "That was a bad call. You shouldn't call that." That's how she started off the interview, and then she brought this up. So, but this is what I'm gonna say, man. Caitlin Clark is going to transition to the NBA very well. like, like, okay, we're acting like okay. Yes, the game is more physical. We get that. The game is more physical, right? Trae Young played in college basketball also. Trae Young also led college sports in points and assists. And he played 1 year. He was only a freshman. His freshman year, I think, was he freshman Dave? Played 1 year?
Yeah.
Freshman year, averaged the most points in the nation and the most assists. And look at we all saw Trae Young, right? Undersized, flimsy, small, and a lot of people thought his game couldn't translate because of his size. And look, he transitioned well. His second year, he was average. I think he made an All-Star game his second year in the league, my dad, or third year in the league. Steph Curry, oh, this is not going to translate. They more physical than NBA. So I think it is more physical than WNBA. I'm not saying it's not. The lifestyle is different, but Caitlin Clark is different. She's a generational talent. And the way she plays, she's going to spread up. She's going to be a threat as soon as she get there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right? Like, she might have one of the best rookie seasons in WNBA history, in my opinion, right? So, I'm rooting for Caitlin. I hope Caitlin comes and dominates the WNBA because she did put women's sports on the map because you look at WNBA, right? They have they have two super teams, Liberty and Vegas, right? 2 super teams. And the teams are more sold versus the individual matchups. There are no individual matches being sold. And I think that was the goodness of college sports this year, that you had USC Juju, you had Paige with UConn. You sell that matchup. You don't sell UConn versus USC. You sell Paige versus Juju. You also sell Angel Reese versus what's the name? Versus Caitlin. And then Paige versus Caitlin. And then those matches played. Now the winner got to play the juggernaut. It's all Carolina. So the storylines and everything in college sport was really good. And I hope the WNBA take note of that because the NBA, that's what they do. They sell the matchup of the player. They don't sell like, the Nuggets versus the Sixers. Nope. Joel Embiid against Jokic. That's how they look at it. So I hope I'm rooting for Caitlin Clark. I hope she's going to dominate. And if she does, I'm sorry, Taurasi, people are going to flip what you say, and they're going to just backfire. It's going to look bad in the future if Caitlin goes on and ball out.
Yeah, those are just about my exact words I was going to say. Just about the same exact thing, because it can come off as if she's saying that she's not going to translate to the WNBA. But if you watch how Caitlin plays, it's going to translate because she's not just a shooter. She can drive, she can pass. It doesn't matter. She can do it all. She may not be a great defender, but she's going to defend. She's going to get into those passing lanes. She's going to do whatever it takes to help her team win because in that game against UConn, people thought that it was Caitlin the bus, but no, she got her teammates involved. They won as a team, but she was just the best. She was just the best player on that team, but they won as a team. So she knows how to get her teammates involved. She knows how to create shots. She's not just a 3-point shooter, just like a lot of people have said that about Steph. Like Steph was just a 3-point shooter, but that, as you can see now, he's not just a 3-point shooter. That may be the biggest thing, but that may be the main thing that they're great at. But she has handles. She has good handles as well. Caitlin's going to be able to translate. Now, others, I believe it'll be how far is someone like maybe Angel Reese, because if you look at her game, it's tough for her to get a basket down low because she doesn't have any post moves. So that's something that she's going to have to develop if she wants to be what she was in college. Now that's not to say she won't be able to get buckets. I think she'll still be able to get some scoring, but if she wants to be dominant or be one of the better players in the league, then I think she has to do that. Probably got to work on her free throws as well. But that doesn't mean that none of these players are not going to be able to translate. Because look at Juju, freshman. We seen how good she can ball.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be able to translate immediately once she gets to the league. Paige Becker, she's going to be able to translate. So is Hannah Hidalgo. That's another young lady that plays for Notre Dame. Another freshman. She's going to be good. And then if you think about the comment about her playing against 18-year-olds, it's not just 18-year-olds on that team. And in the WNBA, you have to play at least 3 years before you can come out into the WNBA draft. So that's how it is in college women's basketball. So it's not like she has a choice to come out after she's 18. She has to play 3 years, then she can decide to come out. So that's the thing. That was the same thing with Angel Reese, because Angel Reese was a junior this year as well. She could have came back every time, but she didn't. She went into the draft. So, but it's not a hate message, honestly. It's more so like, just prepare yourself. It's gonna be it's gonna be different when you get to the league, but continue to work on it. And she didn't say any names specifically, so we don't know if she was actually talking about Caitlin or anybody. She was just saying that some people is good in college and they don't translate to the WNBA. Same thing for college basketball for men's. They don't always translate from college to the NBA, but the better players, they always find a way.
You want to know what's funny?
You want
to know what's funny? What if she was talking to Angel Reese? It just so happened that it was after that game, but what if she was actually talking to Angel Reese?
Then you could.
I always saw Angel Reese, because like SVP kind of like provoked her to say that too. He was like, I know some of y'all. I'm paraphrasing. He was like, I know a lot of y'all like, oh, when you come in, it's not gonna be as easy as you think it is. And she was like, yeah. And then that's what she elaborated on what SVP kind of like instigated that. And then they had just played UConn. So
I see the setting, but I'm just saying, if you think about the one player who we are questioning in this draft is Angel, and who's the one that plays bully ball is Angel. So it's like you're not going up against these 18 to 19 to 20-year-olds. You're going up against grown women like Asia Wilson, Brittany Griner. Like, you're gonna be down in the paint with some heavy hitters. So don't think it's gonna be all peaches and cream and crowns when you get over it.
One thing about Angel though, she seemed like a go-getter. So I feel like she's gonna adapt into the WNBA. I feel like she's gonna develop her skill. I feel like to be a good player. We mean top 5 in the draft?
Yeah.
Is she gonna be top 5?
I'm asking.
She's projected, I think, go like 6 or 7, something like that.
Yeah, I think she's projected top 10, not top 5.
Yeah.
She's coming to DC.
But hey, you look at this.
I got it up already. I know Caitlin going number 1. She's going to Indiana. So,
but like,
might go to the Sparks. I'm just saying, you might be back home.
Someone funny, don't know what. But
hey, like, she coming to DC. We going to games. We going to games.
I'm already there. I'm trying to get a badge and everything. I got some questions.
Hey, me too.
But also, Simone Augustus, right? Went to LSU. Bucket. Went to LSU. Went to 3 Final Fours. And then went to the WNBA and averaged 21 rookie year. And then she a guard. She a bucket. And she, they ended up having a super team in Minnesota too. But she walked in there with no super team when she first got there. She averaged 21 a game. So I think that Caitlin gonna come in and fit right in, bro. Like, she's gonna come in and just like. I
see her averaging about 20, 21.
I think she averaged 120.
What I'm saying is, I could see that happening.
Yes.
Like, that's like automatic for me. I don't think that's gonna be a
lock at number 1, right?
She a lock. They already moved
Indiana.
They already moved Vegas and Indiana game to a certain venue, I think, because they know Caitlin's gonna be there.
Exactly. So it can fit. I think it can fit like 5,000 or 8,500 seats, something like that.
I think it was 8,000. I think, yeah. Crazy. So she already like, man.
They know what she's gonna bring, and this is gonna help the WNBA as a product as well.
And that's what I was gonna say too, Joe. When you said that, like, this is they need to embrace this moment. Like last year, they did try to sell the super teams. Like, that's why they was okay with the ladies building those 2 super teams, because they was like, okay, we got Vegas and then we got New York. I don't think they expected Vegas to be like South Carolina of the WNBA, because they were just smoking people. They wanted a little bit of parity, but I think they're gonna sell this a little bit more too, because like I said, now it would be funny if Angel does go second. So now they got more parity to sell because you got the 1 and 2 pick. They was already going back and forth in college. Now we in the WNBA, so it's a lot.
I'm not gonna lie, WNBA last year was good because the WNBA finals was very competitive. It went down to the last game.
Yeah.
And it went down to that shot for real, remember?
Yep.
It went down. Remember what's name hit the three? I forgot her name. Wanted to play the 3-point shot with Steph Curry. She hit the three. I forgot what happened, but I think somebody got fouled in the game. Sabrina, yeah. It was a close game. I remember that.
You got 2 3-point threats now in the WNBA. Look what they did at the All-Star week. I'm just saying, man. Look,
and Sabrina came and talked to Iowa. Shout out to Sabrina. She went before they played UConn. She went to go talk to Iowa. She went to the team and talked to them. Talk to her. Yeah, I think
the future is bright, man. Steph, you gotta get ready, man, because they're gonna call you. Now you got.
I'm just glad Paige staying, man. I wish Paige would move on too. She's staying 1 more year.
I kind of like that a little bit about the WNBA. I mean, the ladies aspect of it, because now that's what helped the college game. Because now you got 3 years of these players going at it versus the one and dones,
bro. And that's the secret for that's why college women's was good this year, because like bro, Caitlin first year was tight, but she had to stay. She had to stay. She came in that job already breaking our records, and then they was like, "Oh yeah, you got 6 more years." God,
like imagine if Bronny did 2 more years. Let me stop before I get put in the doghouse. I heard the beat yesterday. I ain't bringing up LeBron no more on Refuse to Lose. I am okay. Let's talk about these IG chats before we get us out of here.
Yes, sir.
Hey, my LeBron short has done 1,600 views so far, and the day not over yet either. So
okay.
Hey, would you tell the rest of the shows, man? Get your views up.
Get your views. Get your subscribers up, because I'm right there in second place right now. I don't think anybody close right now. So,
I got you, Dave. Give me a second. I got an updated one for you, but you can go ahead and start talking about the chats.
Yeah, but these IG chats, these are on Instagram only, not Facebook, not Twitter or X, as you want to call it. We do have a chat on X, but it's VIP only. So if you are not a Superstar member or in the VIP chat already, you will not be in there. So don't even worry about that.
For real?
For real.
How much for one chat?
For one chat.
How much for a day in the chat?
A day in the chat. Ooh.
If you don't get out of here, Chris Rock,
I want to get 2 days.
I was about to say, good Lord, that's a lot of money. It's $2.99, man. For one chat.
5 cents.
For 30 days? I'm going to get 2 days.
He's going to say, how about you screenshot the chat and act like I'm in it?
No more. But, man,
what's hard to read?
We got who was added now. That's what talk about Joe. Superstar.
Yeah.
My man. So we actually have multiple chats, or should I say a plethora of IG chats that we have. Some are free for the moment.
Ooh, really?
For the moment.
So I can get 2 then.
There are only 3 that are not free. 3 free, 3 not free. There you go. So we got the NBA and WNBA chat that is not free. The NFL chat, which is also not free. And the VIP Refuse to Lose chat, which you have to be a Superstar member to be able to get into that chat, period. The NBA and NFL, you only have to be a pro member. Tomo's going to go over the memberships in a little bit, but that is what you need to do for that. But in these chats, we give you all the latest news here first. As you saw in the comment, the very first comment of the show today, there was an announcement made for Logan Ryan, who is now retired. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, so he is now retired from the NFL. So that is something that you will see in there. And you also see situations that are like the Rashee Rice situation, the Cam Sutton situation, stuff like that. We'll talk about that as well. You even got people that's putting in baby showers and stuff like that in these chats. So
happy birthday.
Yep. Birthdays and weddings and divorces and people, stuff like that. So we see it. As Carl would say, Tom, take care of your kids. But yeah, we got these chats are NFL, NBA, and the WNBA is mixed in with that. The WNBA draft is coming up very, very soon.
Dave, I think it's about that time. That we add a WNBA chat now.
All right, let's get
It's
it.
about to get real.
So now we're gonna have a separate chat. WNBA is gonna have its own separate chat now. You heard it here first. The WNBA is gonna have its own separate chat. So we're gonna have news strictly for the WNBA. We have Major League Baseball. We got UFC and WWE in its combined chat. We got boxing by itself. We got college sports, college football. Then we got college basketball, men and women's, of course. And then two of the newest chats that we have now are soccer and NHL. Teddy, you got 10, but you still behind me by like 15. So get your subscribers up. Like I said.
It's competition, man.
So
first one's behind it, we're gonna see.
And who got more episodes than I do and still behind? Oh, friendly competition. That's my guy Teddy, BWT. Make sure you turn to the BWT. He definitely has a fire show today. And Teddy, you didn't know, but I'll be producing for your show today. So,
no, it's a stream.
Oh, well, never mind. Too bad. Too bad. But yeah, man, it's these chats are going to are very eminent for what we do on the show, because you can also talk about topics that we can bring on the show.
Yeah. Finish out, Dave. Finish out, Dave. Finish out, Dave.
Get to the playoffs. Get to the playoffs. Find a quarterback.
Dave, focus.
Mac and cheese.
Yeah, that was funny.
Hey, Teddy talking trash in the comments, y'all. So I know y'all wonder why I keep saying these random.
Oh yeah, you gotta read the comments. Teddy put in the comments.
So the first comment I said, Teddy said 10 this week, Dave. Because I was talking trash about his subscribers. Right now he has 40. He's not even at 50 yet. So that's what I had to say about that. But then he said hold the lead in the Super Bowl. And well, the Patriots haven't got to the playoffs in a couple of years, and last time they did, they got blown out. So I'm just saying. You haven't gotten anywhere since Tom left. So welcome to my world.
They got a plus.
There you go. Relive the Patriot days. That's all you can look forward to right now.
Hurt me. Finish.
But those are the IG chats, man. And stuff like this that we're talking about right now actually happens in the IG chats. We have debates in there and everything. Like that's where the whole debate that's going to happen on Friday between Vaughn and Kev with Brian Dawkins and Trip Palomalo, it came from the chat. And then the other thing that we have with Brock Purdy that you probably didn't know about, Brock Purdy versus Jalen Hurts, also came from the chat. So look out for these. And right now, like I said, some of these are free, but only the NFL, the NBA, and the R2L is not free. That is it.
So by you saying not free, that means it's on me. All right. Man, 3 levels, man. 3 levels. Pro level, all-star, and superstar level, man. Y'all want to join one of these chats? Because I heard Joe asking a lot of questions about how much for 30 days? $2.99. $2.99. That's cheaper than a Happy Meal. I mean, that's cheaper than a small fry. They took away the dollar menu, but we got the $2.99 pro level menu over here at R2L. With that, you get loyalty badges next to your name and comments in the live chats. You get priority comments. As you can see, Teddy is going back and forth right now because he got a lot to say. And you get to join one sports chat. So as you can see, we are expanding the sports chats, but you get to join one of the sports chats that are not free. Let me say that, because after a while, you got like 30 more days, and then after Drake may go to the Commanders, the chats may not be free no more because it's gonna be a lot to say. It's gonna be a lot to say. So if you want to hear a little bit more about that, because you joined the wrong chat at the wrong time, you come to the All-Star level for $4.99 a month. You can join multiple chats, so that way you can follow the conversation wherever it goes. So if you want to hear about why Troy Polamalu is better than what's his name? It's the name Brian Dawkins. That's what it is. If you want to hear about it, right? Members only videos. That's what you get access to at the All-Star level. So we've been promoting it. You have to be an All-Star. And like I said, to join the multiple chats, you can follow around this Troy Polamalu and this Brian Dawkins debaters. You can follow them throughout the chats because people do run. And you can request a topic or segment nominee. The segments are not Not So Average Top 5. You're done, son. Dave's Doghouse. But that's just for the refuse to lose. Those are our segments. But don't think about it for just us. Every show on the network has segments. So when you become an all-star, and if you are in the chats, you can reach out to the host of these shows and say, hey, I have a topic that I want you to talk about, and I have a segment as well. And you just reach out to the host, and then they'll run it through their staff. And if it's okay and sports related, then they'll bring it up. So that means if I'm talking about CTC and I need you to talk about why my coach is the best coach in South Carolina, I need you to talk about that, Carl. That's all I want. That's all I ask. I paid my $4.99. I need you to talk about why the ladies is the best team in the Carolinas. That's all. But if you want a little bit more, you come to the superstar level for $9.99 a month. You get the same perks from the all-star and the pro level. You get to be a guest on this show. You get to be a guest on RBO. You get to be a guest on Baseball with Teddy. You get to be a guest on the Doghouse. So if you want to put Tomo in the Doghouse because he said something about why the ladies are the best team in the Carolinas, you can try to do that. It's cool. Or if you want to put Joe in the Doghouse because the Kings ain't doing King things, you can do that.
It's all up to me if they will be in the Doghouse, though. So.
At the end of the day, you still got to talk to the judge. You can plead your case, but you got to talk to the judge either way.
Yeah.
All right.
Plead the case, and they may make it there.
No Diddy. Awards and plaques to the top performers. I knew I was going to get. You get awards to the top performers on each episode. That's based upon the numbers, and you can clearly see that the numbers mean something over here at R2L. The battle is amongst all shows, and ain't nobody gonna come on here and pull a J. Cole, because once we have friendly competition, we let it be known. All right. But at the end of the day, Red Corner, it's still the big three. We still the original big three. I just want y'all to remember that. We give you a member shout out. So shout out to all our superstar members, Tone, Coach, Teddy, Donnell, Joe, Dave, and myself. And again, if you want to figure out why the big three are members, become a member and we'll tell you personally. Also, I know Dave gonna say, if you want to become a member, comment below member and we'll reach out to you and we'll add you to one of the chats and show you the way. Kind of like how Deflategate happened.
Teddy, tell me how many of your short
Read the comment,
So he said, and Dave, I wonder how many views and subscribers I had when I didn't have my own channel. Well, remember, we had our own channels at the same time. So I don't think that makes a difference, sir.
They are really doing this.
I have one show a week. One. You have multiple shows a week.
We have to do a members only BWT. All right, let's go ahead, Dave. So chicken in the Doghouse. Go ahead, take over.
Let's get it, man. So, welcome to Dave's Doghouse on the R2L show. So this show is to talk about the highlights and lowlights of players, teams, analysts, reporters, interpreters, don't matter. If you're in the sports world, this is for you. So I'm going to give a preview of what I'll be talking about tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we did watch the national championship game yesterday. And it's been a great college basketball season all year round. I believe regular season and in the NCAA tournament, it's been huge. It's been huge. But now we got to talk about some things that didn't go so well for a certain team. I normally would make you guys guess who I'm going to talk about first, but I'm going to go ahead and just say exactly who it is because we literally just watched them play last night. And it was Edie or nothing else. The Purdue Boilermakers, others. Let me tell y'all how bad they were yesterday. So they only had 2 points off the bench entirely. 2 points, period. They shot 14% from three. They only attempted 8 threes the entire game and made one of them. Just one. Not only that, let's take away Edie's stats, just his numbers. He shot 15 and 25, right? Y'all want to guess how badly they shot last night? They shot 9 of 29 from the field. They missed 20 shots altogether. And only had one other person that scored double digits, and that was only 12 points. And he shot 4 total from the field. Edey did what he could. Like Joe said, he had 37 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. He played as best as he could yesterday. But what did Dan Hurley say? He said, take away all the others. And that's exactly what they did. They did that. They took away that only. Edey was able to do whatever he wanted. But Smith couldn't do anything. No one else on Purdue's team could really score a bucket. They got in foul trouble, though. You know, they definitely did foul a lot. So that's just what happened. They weren't able to do much of anything.
What more do you want from me?
So UConn dominated. And Kev, I'll answer you later. So this was an opportunity for Purdue to do something they haven't done ever. And that's to win a national championship and beat the team that everyone thought was unbeatable. But what did they do? All they did was they got it to where they was within 6 points at the end of the first half. Then the second half came. And they pretty much got dominated from beginning to end in the second half. It was like as soon as UConn got the momentum, they could not take it away. Every time Smith drove the ball and he couldn't find Edey, he didn't know what to do. All they did, that's all they looked for last night. All it was like, all right, how are we going to get Edey the ball? He, like, shout out to Carl, because Carl said they could have scored 40 points and it wouldn't have made a difference. They still was going to lose that game. And he almost had 40 and they still lost.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
So Purdue, outside of Edey, you are the newest member of the doghouse. So welcome to the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. Now, do I have any comments from my two fellas about this?
I ain't got nothing to say, man. That's just terrible. I scored more points than half them.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I had intentions to like challenge you on this. Can't, man. Like, no. I called Carl. You know, I'm doing research. I'm trying to do numbers. I called Carl. I'm like, Carl, who is, you know, what? I'm like, it's not looking good, man. I'm gonna look like a fool if I try to challenge this. They were just bad, man. Like, I can't defend this. Like, I wrote down. I'll say, oh, you know what? Because I remember I heard a coach say what he said. Right, our goal was to like not focus on Edey, focus on everybody else, hold them under 18. And I'm like, how did UConn do against other guards? And other guards didn't play well. Stetson didn't play well. Northwestern, San Diego, Illinois, Alabama did. All together, the guards were 42 from 119, shooting 35%. But Purdue was 30%. Purdue's worse than that. And then, like, it wasn't even like one dude was 4 for 12, one dude was 0 for 5, other guy was 2 for 3, and that was it. Another guy was 2 for 4, and that was it for real. Like, so, and only thing I remember is this dude keep missing on middies. I'm like, bruh, how many times you gonna miss these wide open middies, bruh?
It was breaking, my God.
but hey, man, like you said, Zach Edey dominated, and he didn't really get much help.
Definitely. So, well, that's the doghouse. Now we got to talk about the dogs. This is the first time I've actually done the dog on the actual show. So that's a big deal. Again, college basketball. When I say this was one of the most exciting tournaments for both men and women. But there was one particular tournament that was just awesome all around. They've been better than some of the other major games that's happened. It was more watched than the Super Bowl, more watched than the NBA Finals. I'm talking about the women's college basketball tournament. This was one of the best tournaments I've ever witnessed in my entire life. When it comes to women's basketball. Like Joe said, it's exciting because of the matchups that we had to see. We got to see South Carolina pretty much run the table and win it all this year. 38-0, the first black woman head coach to go undefeated the entire year and win the national championship. Dawn Staley. So congratulations to you, South Carolina. But also look at what happened when we had the Final Four matchups. It was huge. The ratings were good. I think they had like 17.6 million that watched that game, that watched the Final Four. 17.6 million. That was also more than the NBA Finals.
Wow, last 4 years.
So that shows you how big, how much people paid attention to women's basketball this year. Then you look at the young ladies that were talked about almost all year long. I mentioned the names already. You got Caitlin Clark that was talked about. You had Hannah Hidalgo in Notre Dame. You had Juju Walkers from USC. You got Paige Beckers from UConn. Then you got Camila from South Carolina. You had to talk about her. Then you got Angel Reese and Flo and the other young lady who's now transferring. You had those three girls with LSU. Haley Van Lith, you had her with LSU. You had those three girls. You had them to talk about. So this was women's college basketball was about matchups this year, and it has not always been like that. It's always been about teams. Remember when Gino was running UConn, it was more so about the team just dominating all the way through. We know what he has. He has 11 championships. He had a chance to get 12 this year, but it didn't happen. But he's the most winningest coach in basketball, period, and he's a women's college basketball coach. So guess what the numbers were for the national championship game? 18.7 million watched the women's national championship game. 18.7 million, man. I gotta look at these numbers again. So the viewership, one second, I just had it pulled up. It was crazy. So viewership went up 89% from last year to this year, 285% from 2022 to this year. It peaked at 24 million viewers during the game. It's the most watched basketball game, men's or women's college basketball, since 2019. And this is all excluding football and Olympics, but it's the most watched sporting event outside of football and the Olympics since 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
This was the most watched college women's basketball game on record since 1992. I was born in 91. So that's over 30 years since we've had a game of this magnitude in college women's basketball. So the product of women's college basketball is going to do nothing but further improve the WNBA product. As long as the WNBA follows what's going on now, it's going to be huge. And look at not even just what's happening on the court. Look at what they're doing for them outside of the court. You got Juju Watkins in a commercial with Joel Embiid. You got Paige Beckers in commercials. You got Caitlin Clark in State Farm commercials. They are making money because of the NIL, but also commercials. And now they're further along that product because hey, these are the young ladies that are going to be next up in the WNBA. So they're highlighting them now in college basketball so it can follow them to the WNBA. So now, sooner or later, the WNBA is going to make so much money that they're not going to have to worry about that talk about the women's not getting paid enough. It's coming. It's taking time, but it's coming.
You want to add to that, Tomo?
I was waiting for me to do the They some dogs out there.
Welcome
But
to the dogs for women's college basketball.
I mean, he said it mostly. I think we are the only show on YouTube that does all the sports that we do now. Of course, we have the friendly battle going back and forth, but I think we've highlighted women's sports for a while now. We've even had a debate several times in the R2L chat about how can the viewership go up in women's basketball, and we always said that one, the competition has to get a little better, and the competition has gotten better, but it's also the promotion of it. Like there's not that much promotion with the WNBA or women's basketball, and now you have these names coming out, and NCAA said, "Word, all right, so now we literally gonna pit them against each other, and we gonna see what happens. May the best person win." And WNBA, it's like what we always say on the show, he's gonna pass you off one of the best draft classes. What you gonna do with it? It's now on you to either be a dog or enter the doghouse. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's not much I want to say. We highlighted this earlier too about the women's basketball, but I mean, they like you said, Tom, I think we did it on the show too. We had a conversation on how can it be better after the championship game. I think we did, but I do want to ask my doghouse, Dave. All right, it's gonna be real quick though. Shout out to Tommy Bear on Twitter or X. Tell me you're gonna love this one. This is what he put. He said, the sports world right now is doing awesome right now, right? Sports world. UConn just won back-to-back titles in historically dominant fashion. There is a week left in the NBA season, and playoff spots are up for grabs, and there are a million fascinating storylines. The women's NCAA title game was the most watched non-football game in years, and Caitlin Clark is a generational talent. MLB in full swing right now. Season kicked off, the excitement is high. NHL playoffs about to start. More storylines. So he put there. So guys, what do you want to talk about on TV today? Shout out to Get Up. Same old Cowboys.
I knew it, bro.
They're fully miserably right now and having one of the worst all season in the NFL.
I knew it, bro.
Are you serious?
I knew it. I knew it.
Hey, Jerry know what he's doing, Tomo. You know what he's doing.
That is crazy, bro. As soon as you say you're gonna like this, I was like, it's either the Wizards are getting bad or it's got to be about that Michael Parsons story. This is crazy.
So, Cowboys still taking up the media, man. Even though all of this great stuff is going on around it. So, hey, I watched Get Up too. That's fine. I like that show. But come on, y'all. Why y'all talking about the Cowboys today? Stop it. All right. Let's talk about something else.
That's
Well, your wish is my command. Get up.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
We not even just gonna say Get Up, man. Now that you say that, Joe, let's just add all of the sports shows because they'll literally do like 5 minutes about these NCAA tournaments, and they'll be like, "Well, the Cowboys say they sick of Michael Parsons." I'm like, I don't care, bro. I don't care.
Yeah, man. Like even we haven't talked about that. Like
exactly. And you got a Cowboy fan up here. Like honestly, let's peel back the curtain before we get out of here. How many Cowboy topics do I even come to the group with? I don't even like to talk about the Cowboys.
Sometimes else we bring it to you.
And then you try to be like, "Come on, man, I don't want to talk about that."
This is crazy.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
He's still taking shots. But
sir, we're 7-3. We are a game and a half behind y'all. Relax yourself. Relax yourself. Yes, the Yankees are right behind you. I mean, the Red Sox are right behind the Yankees, my guy.
Teddy taking back the narrative.
And Kev.
Oh, you about to go back to the Kev question?
And Kev, yes, I do talk about everything, but we've known this for a while. This is nothing new. I did this on the show, and I took it out and made it his own show. And guess what? One of my shorts is a baseball player, and it has more views than one of his shorts. So, hey. If we just want to talk about baseball, my one about Mookie Betts is, has more shorts views than any of his. So there you go.
I don't know about that, Dave. I don't know. He might fact check you on that one. He has some shorts. I got some.
Hey, I haven't seen it.
Let's stay out of it.
I ain't seen a post about it.
I'm a viewer.
Yeah. You back up, King's Talk.
Yeah, King's Talk. We the lowest rated show on the network. So I ain't got no smoke with nobody.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Y'all might want to join the chat. This just got turned up out of nowhere.
I'm not going. Oh, how many? Are we counting now? Okay, take it to the chat. All right, let's wrap this up.
We'll take it to the chat, my guy.
Yeah, he got a show at 10:30 anyway. So let's wrap this up. Last words, man. It was a great show. Glad to have all three of us back together. It's the first time we did a show, all three of us, in like 2 weeks. J-Mo was on the last one, so I didn't count that one. But yeah. So shout out to the network. Shout out to everybody in the chats. Y'all need to join these chats, man. Become a member. Make sure you become a member to watch that debate on Friday, y'all. It's gonna be epic. All right, we're gonna arrange who's gonna host that. How are we gonna do that? But we gotta have a moderator there. All right, Kings. Whew. OKC today. We need this dub. We in the AC right now. Got Phoenix and New Orleans in front of us. We got to get this dub. We got to get to that 6 seed. I don't want to play in the play-in. I do not want to do that. And Commanders, what I tell you, I'm telling y'all, don't listen to the media. Nobody. Don't listen to, not even Chef there. That's my guy, but don't even listen to him. All right? This reminds me of when Kawhi Leonard salute everybody and went to the Clippers, and everybody thought he was going to the Lakers. Nobody knew what was going on behind Kawhi Leonard's camp. All right? Nobody knows what's going on behind Adam Peters' camp. So stop guessing. Just wait till the draft and let Roger Goodell tell you who we're drafting. So that's all I gotta say.
I looked at the standings, Joe. Yeah, that's a tight race for number 6.
Yeah,
but my 45% Mavs, man.
Y'all looking good.
45. AK, if I'm telling you, man, ever since I became a fan, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If they win it all, you need to thank me. For Dallas,
man. A favor.
He definitely do, and not the Wizards, Cowboys. Man, go ahead, Dave. Those are my last words. I just want to say.
My last words is thank you, Teddy, for the friendly competition. I'm glad you're the one that answered it. No one else has so far. So, so let's see who else is going to step up to the plate. I'm expecting more from RBO.
Oh,
I'm expecting more from CTC. I know Coach has been out for a while, but I'm expecting more from him because football season is coming up. So let's see what happens, fellas. Come on. Let's not pull a J. Cole and apologize and run away.
Donations.
That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
Let's get it. And Joe, you too. King's Talk counts as well. So get them subscribers up, my guy.
I'll let you know right now. King's Talk is not in his race right now. I'll let you know right now. All right.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, y'all. That's all we have for y'all today, and we'll see y'all next episode.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.